The Sprout Experience is a nonprofit organization, and what we do is immersive education. So that means we call it learning by being. You really get involved with something and then you learn it. So it's classes, camps, and travel for youth, really from preschool all the way up to college. Little Sprouts is one of our programs. It's for ages 3 to 7. We give them creative names like Walk in the Woods and Slithering Snakes and Horsing Around. And you can probably figure out what the classes are about based on the names. So they're short classes. They're for this preschool age group. And we really get involved in what we do. We actually go out in the woods, we hike, we gather things, we go horseback riding, we do all these great things. We do that all the way up to college interns who travel with us to Kenya and Trinidad and Tobago and all around the world. We work with lion researchers in Kenya, staying where no other group does besides grad students and other scientists. Actually, this last year we began a program with Hawkins School from the east side. They have a marine biology intensive program, and we take them to Tobago. They get to scuba dive and really get involved with marine scientists. And then what we do, we go with them. We're not a travel company. We don't set up arrangements. We're educators, we're teachers. We go with them and run the program. And what they do is they work, even if they're not certified, by the end of the trip, they've scuba dived on some of the best reefs in the world. They've talked with experts and scientists, taken samples. They're going to be face to face with wildlife in the water, up in the mountains. They won't see another student or another tourist the entire time. All the food will be local food cooked right there for us. We stay at private camps. It's not fancy, it's just real and amazing. So when we were able to finally let people know, like Hawkins School, that we had this available, and we explained it to them, and they come to understand that it's not just a travel agency or just a class. Yeah, that's where they want their kids to be. After they learn about marine biology, they want them on a reef in the Caribbean where no one else goes, diving off a boat, and just, yeah, changes their lives forever.
Daniel and I met when we were teaching together in Westlake. He was advising the environmental club, and he was taking students to Kenya to learn about the Maasai culture, to study lion conservation, and they had a music component to their program as well. While he was building this, I had been traveling for years for a student travel company all through Europe and Australia. We then became colleagues at the same building, and of course, then I joined the Environmental Club to Kenya that summer, and Paige was actually with us as well. And while we were there being educators, we had a lot of conversations about how impactful and how immersive and wonderful these programs were for students, just traveling and taking kids out into the world, and what they learn about different cultures and themselves and the science and the conservation of our programs. And we just decided that we wanted to do this on a bigger scale. We wanted to have students outside of Westlake join us. And that's sort of the short story of how Sprout got started. The Avon Lake connection is that when we first started Sprout, our first program was to the Galapagos Islands, and half of the enrollment was Avon Lake students. That prompted me to reach out to Bob Scott, our superintendent. He loved what he heard about Sprout. He then allowed us to reach out to the school principals who let us talk to the teachers. And then the result of that was our next program was to Bonaire, which focused on marine conservation and scuba diving, and the entire program filled with students from Learwood Middle School and Avon Lake. So we knew in Avon Lake we had something really special. So when we decided it was time to move our offices, Avon Lake was the first place that we looked to do that. We were welcomed by the school district, we were welcomed by the teachers, and then the students and the families that we met were so amazing. And plus I live in Avon Lake, and my husband and I raised our kids here, who both just graduated from Avon Lake High School. So we just felt like we were sort of home, and Avon Lake was what helped get us started, and we felt like this is where we needed to be. And we're very happy that our headquarters are in Avon Lake now. So the Sprout Experience is located on Lear Road. We're right across the street from Big M's Pizza, so we're easy to spot. So one of the things that I want people in Avon Lake to know is that as Sprout has grown, so has the way Avon Lake has embraced Sprout. We started out just having international programs, and now we have programs called Little Sprouts for preschoolers ages 3 to 7, all the way up to college internships. And every single one of those, our classes, our camps, our international programs, have had Avon Lake students be a part of it. And that to us we think is wonderful. And that's a tradition we want to keep going in Avon Lake. Something else that we never expected when we started Sprout was the impact it was going to have on students after they graduated. That's sort of what led us to the internship. But what we found out sitting down, I think just last year, was that 90% of the students who had gone on an international program with us were accepted to the college of their first choice. And almost 90% of them wrote their college essays on their Sprout experience. So that to us was just something we didn't anticipate, but made us feel just very fortunate, very happy about what Sprout had done with them, or done for them.
So I kind of have a unique involvement with Sprout. I started when I was in 7th grade as a participant, and I've been to Sprout to Kenya on 2 occasions. And really, when I look back and see what influenced my decision in my course of life, Sprout's the #1 thing. I was able to get exposure to concepts and work with researchers that you really can't get until you're maybe even at the graduate level of education. And it was my trip to Kenya that really made me decide that I wanted to go. I pursued my BA in sustainability with a minor in political science at San Diego State, and now I'm currently pursuing my master's in environmental anthropology also at San Diego State.
And the other thing is that 60% of our programs fill with students or families that have already been a part of Sprout, so people are coming back and coming back, whether it's a little Sprouts Horse and Around program or a major program like Kenya. Those are filling with alumni over and over again. And so to us, it shows that when you get to know Sprout, one of the things you'll hear us say is that Sprout is a family. It isn't just a business. The way that we design our classes, the way that we design our programs, they're small. We don't join with other groups. We really travel like a family. We take care of each other. And I think that is what keeps people coming back. That is how we're building the trust. And one thing that's also happened is that when one sibling comes, when the next sibling gets old enough, they start to join. And siblings start to travel together. And cousins start to travel together. And it just expands that Sprout family.
And one thing that's really unique about Sprout is it really does operate like a family. I know it's said a lot, but I can attest to that through my personal experience. And now, I was part of the first cohort for the internship program to Trinidad and Tobago, and really got to get on the other side of being part of the program and helping other students have that same experience that I had. And now I'm on the board with Sprout too, and it's just been an honor having gone so far with this program. And I really can't emphasize enough how life-changing it is, and that's one of my favorite things to tell students who are coming into the programs or thinking about it, is you can't get experience in education like this anywhere else, and it even helps prepare me for college in a way that I didn't even really realize until I was there.
There's generally 2 things I could think of right away. First of all, we're here. COVID was tough for us, or is tough for us, because all of our international programs, all of our travel trips last year instantly canceled. And that was 85% of what we were planning for the year. And we're a nonprofit, just starting out as a nonprofit. We were a pretty young business, so it was tough. But we've adapted, we've evolved actually. We're doing a lot more with younger kids now. We're doing programs that are set up to be COVID safe. We have all kinds of safeties in place. So we're here, even though it seems like maybe it's not the ultimate time to get involved in this. We actually feel like now is the time where kids and young people really need this kind of extra interaction with others, this extra learning. We feel like it's not a replacement for their normal education, but it's an enhancement and enrichment. So we're here, and we probably have something your kids would benefit from. So it would be great if you could check us out, look us up, and be involved.
What we hope will happen is that travel will open back up because this summer our plans are to return to Kenya and to Thailand and to do our programs in Florida and the Everglades as well.